Hello and welcome to day one of the Beer Jack Premium Advent Calendar Drink Along. He's Joe.
And he's Luke.
Today we're going to be drinking beer number one. Quick note though, if you're watching along and you're not drinking the same beer that we're drinking today, that's because you have a different Advent calendar. So this year we have 4 Beer Jack Advent calendars. There's the cider one, the non-alc one, the favourites one, and this one, which is the premium. So the other 3 are all also fantastic, but the premium one is the one that has really special beers in it. It's a lot more expensive than the others, and we imported the beers especially for the box and got brewers to make special beers for it, which is mainly thanks to Joe.
Yeah, it's been a couple months of pretty hard work, just reaching out to some of our favourite Kiwi brewers, trying to sort of collaborate on an idea that they can sort of bring into the calendar.
Yeah, you've planted a few seeds for beers that you'd like to drink.
They
have brewed them.
Yeah, so maybe sometimes brewers don't always get to sort of experiment the way they might want to because it's not a hazy pale ale. So we give them a chance to sort of brew something special and bring that to you guys in the calendar.
Yeah, and that's something we often talk about, that brewers, you know, it's market demand. People want to buy hazy pale ales and hazy IPAs, so that's why we see a proliferation of them. But with things like our Beer of the Week subscription and our Advent calendar, we really want to do a wide variety of styles, and there's all kinds of styles in here, right?
Yeah, pretty much touching on every colour of beer you can imagine, from purple to brown to yellow.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got some amazing Australian imports coming up. So working really hard to sort of get that all collated together from our favourite Aussie brewers, and yeah, it should be a great time.
Yeah, well, there's at least one style in there that I've never drank before, a Polish style, so
oh yes,
pretty excited about trying that one.
Yeah, I haven't had one for a few years since being over in Europe, so yeah. we were pretty stoked when the brewer agreed to that.
And with the Advent calendar, also, I suppose it's a bit of an art and a science, scheduling in what we're drinking on which days. So we always do start off with a bang, but luckily for us, day one is also Friday. So we've got a big one this week, and you gave us some more easygoing ABVs during the midweek.
Yeah, some of the lighter kind of beers for your Mondays and Tuesdays. I mean, it's no real hardship catching up ever, but it's kind of easier if you are drinking along to not push the boat too much midweek.
Well, anyway, enough chat about what we're doing. Let's get drinking. Here we have our Advent calendar box, and day one. We're drinking a beer from a little outfit called Small Gods. So Small Gods is me and my friend Matt.
Hi, I'm here too.
As if by magic, he has appeared.
I definitely haven't been here the whole time listening to what they've been saying.
Do you want a pour, Joe?
Yeah, of course.
Every year, Small Gods, us, make some Christmassy beers.
And we like to target your easy drinking summer styles, light refreshing things that Kiwis want to drink in the hot sun, like a gingerbread imperial stout.
So these are some of the Christmas beers that we've made previously. So this is the 3rd year in a row that Small Gods has made a festive trilogy. So you may have tried some of these before, and these were last year's, the 3 Wise Men. So this year is also a trilogy, which you can find at the Beer Jack website. So have a look out for that. But in the meantime, let's get drinking. Cheers, lads.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This beer is a very, very aromatic beer.
Yeah, so as Luke mentioned, we really love to push the boat out on the styles for the Christmas beers. And this gingerbread imperial stout is inspired by something that's really strongly reminiscent of my childhood Christmases, for sure. I'm not sure how much you guys have had it, but
absolutely, with a German grandmother, we had all those beautiful German delicious Christmassy treats.
Well, there you go. So this is styled on a specific type of German gingerbread called Lebkuchen. I grew up with a lot of Germans in my house as well, and Lebkuchen was something they always brought around. It's this heavily spiced, rich, chewy gingerbread. Sometimes it's covered in chocolate, sometimes it's not. But there is a laundry list of delicious spices in here. We sourced fresh spices for this, not your supermarket spices. Tried to find the specialist spice shops who have the freshly ground stuff.
Yep.
A lot of it we ground ourselves and toasted. So we've got stuff like ginger, cinnamon, cloves, star anise. I'm trying to remember the whole coriander, cardamom, mace, cardamom. Allspice, cloves, and so it's got this really kind of, as Luke said, heavily aromatic spice component, which brings this kind of layered, sweet, bready, cakey melange to it, along with a kind of a really rich and bready malt base.
I had a can of this a few nights ago while watching a film at home, and it's beers like this are what I always call a TV beer. Just a beer you can crack and just nurse it for like an hour and a half while you're watching some really good telly. And I got to the end of it, I was drinking it for almost 2 hours, and at the end of it I had this much left in my glass, and I was like, wow, this is a full-on beer.
Yeah, it definitely is. As Luke kind of touched on there, this is a beer that you can drink over 2 hours. One of the things we do recommend, if you haven't cracked it yet, do let it warm up. Even if you're a little way through the glass, you're halfway through and it's still cold, set it aside. And this beer is one that really wants to be drunk warm, room temperature or above. Just as it warms, those spices are really going to open up, and it just adds so many layers of richness and depth to it. It's definitely something that's worth spending the time on.
And if you haven't got the time, 1 minute in an air fryer works nicely.
Giving away all our secrets. What do you reckon, Joe?
Yeah, it's lovely. I love how just like thick and luscious it is. That really adds to that sort of cakey vibe. I've never eaten Lebkuchen, but I can imagine it based on this.
Well, I've heard a rumour that there's a German shop in Auckland who have told me that they're bringing in some Lebkuchen for Christmas. It hasn't arrived yet, but I'm going to be checking that out. So maybe later in the calendar we might drop a hint as to where you can get some. If you pick up that box from the Beer Joke website, you can have a bit of a side-by-side. I'm hoping we can track some down.
Yeah, that'll be a great mix. So yeah, we've got a trilogy of beers. So a little bit of a teaser here. So this year we went with a bauble theme. So the idea being that they are cans that would not look out of place on your Christmas tree. So I was pretty happy with how the artwork came out on these real silvery metallic cans.
And for those of you who are a bit spoiler averse, we're not going to tell you what's in them. You can check that out on the Beer Joke website if you're curious. But some of you may have had a hint that one of these may be coming up for the future. So if you want that surprise not spoiled for you, then you can just remain in blissful ignorance for now.
Yeah, one of the trilogy may be coming up in the premium advent calendar. One may be coming up in the Beer of the Week subscription, so keep an eye out. But
which is which? Who knows?
But also the sort of beers that just do improve with age, just as they sort of meld and come together. And this is tasting really good now, but it's going to taste even better next Christmas. So my hot tip. Also, I'm the guy that's selling the beer, so maybe I'm just lying to push the beers on you. But as a beer fan, my tip would be to get a box or get a few of these and stash them in your cupboard and crack some next Christmas, the Christmas after, because they're just going to mature, meld, and be tasting even better.
Well, I've definitely got a few of our Santa trilogy and our Three Wise Men trilogy that I'm going to be cracking out this December as well. It's always a big December for Imperial Stouts for me. Imperial Stouts, what have we done in the past? Oat wines and barley wines and the like. It's always it's a heavy time of year.
Yeah, lots of big boozy desserts, chocolatey, Christmas spice flavours. And I want to drink beers like this all year round. Maybe not when it's sweltering sunshine in the middle of the day, but in summertime, after dark, I do want to drink Imperial Stouts. Just the same as in the winter, I want to drink nice, crisp rice lagers. So we don't put much thought into the beers that we brew at Small Gods beyond just what we fancy drinking at any one point. It's not like we have a schedule and we sort of are trying to be strategic. We just brew what we feel like drinking. But the one bit of strategy we do is that no one brews beers like this in the middle of summer. So zagging while everyone else is zigging, in the middle of summer, I'm often seeking out beers like this. So hopefully some other people are and we can sell through the batch.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know, I think for us, and certainly for a lot of people, these are flavours that are reminiscent of Christmas. And while I sometimes get really upset in New Zealand that we're sitting down for Christmas dinner and there's like salads and salmon and stuff like that, it's like, where's the turkey? Where's the big heavy stuffing and Brussels sprouts?
You want a figgy pudding?
I do. Luckily, my family still accommodates my Northern Hemisphere desires and makes the big rich Christmas dinner. But Yeah, for those of you who are from the Northern Hemisphere and want a bit of a taste of home, like we do, that's what it's really for.
We are just those bad immigrants, aren't we? They just move to a new country and whinge about it and just bring all of our customs here and read English
There's nothing
newspapers.
wrong with Pavlova.
Yeah,
Fine.
I don't think the British have ever been accused of being bad immigrants before. The worst.
On that note,
Yep. On that note, we should tell people what the beer is called.
yes, Hark. I maybe mentioned it briefly before. The exclamation mark is essential
Yep.
to it. Hark. The others have similarly joyous Christmas carol type names.
Hearken to our tale, the Advent calendar is upon us.
We haven't gone so sacrilegious this time around, so hopefully we won't be causing too much offence to people.
Don't worry, there'll be much more sacrilege next year.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us for day one of Advent. Strap in. It's going to be a very delicious next 23 days.
It is.
Cheers for joining us, lads.
Anything to add, Chai?
Nothing to add. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Well, I won't see you tomorrow. I'll see you on another day.